Hey, how are y'all doing? It's an honor to be here. We are one part of the Rising Appalachia ensemble. We're going to start with a couple ballads and then we're going to bring a little bit of music in and a little more musicians in, join you in this reverie.
It's awesome to be a part of the Ram Dass gathering and celebration with other incredible musicians and the legacy that he left the world.
Yeah.
And we hope this music brings some sparkle and some healing into everyone's lives and souls.
We're going to start with an original one called Sunny Days in homage of this beautiful incoming spring season wherever it may find you. Oh sunny, 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 no sunny day. Oh sunny day, you rest my soul, you make it easy to see the gold. Oh sunny day, you rest my soul, you make it easy to see the gold. Oh sunny, bring me down to a clean river. Bury my burdens and quell this fever. Leave me hollow and laughing the light. Oh sunny, I see that mountain and I know it's higher. Tend to the embers and to that midnight fire. Be breathless, stand stainless, and touch the wild tameless, yeah. Oh sunny day, you rest my soul, you make it easy to see the gold. Oh sunny day, you rest my soul, you make it easy to see the gold. Oh sunny, take me over fields of yellow. Wash my body and lift me up so I can sing that long, long way back. Oh, sunny, on those highways, skies go for miles away. You lean towards that red clay, lean back, give it in and say, be breathless, stand stainless, and touch the wild tameness, yeah. And oh sunny day, you rest my soul, you make it easy to see the gold. Oh sunny day, you rest my soul, you make it easy to see the gold. Oh sunny, oh sunny, oh sunny, you rest my soul, you make it easy to see the gold. Oh sunny day, you rest my soul, you make it easy. Oh sunny day, be breathless, stand stainless, and touch the wild tameless. Be breathless, stand stainless, and touch the wild tameless. Be breathless, stand stainless, and touch the wild tameless. Be breathless, stand stainless, be breathless, stand stainless. Yeah, thank you. Well, I was thinking, should we do a little snippet of Caminando or Bright Morning Stars? Stay in the morning. Let's do Caminando. So this is a little piece of a ballad that we've performed for many years. We've been touring for the last 13 years or so. I learned this from an incredible songwriter, and author, activist, visionary based out of the Bay Area, and a big time part of the activism between Central and South America and North America. A man named Francisco Herrera, and the song is called Caminando. Caminando, caminando, vamos caminando hacia el sol. Caminando, cantar.
Cantar.
A mí me gusta caminar.
Caminar.
A mí me gusta cantar. Que el camino lo vas haciendo a caminar. Caminando, caminando. Vamos caminando hacia el sol. Caminando, caminando. Vamos caminando hacia la unidad. Ya no más desnutrición, queremos liberación. No al egoísmo, no a la guerra, para vivir la vida plena. Ay, caminando, caminando. Vamos caminando hacia el sol. Caminando, caminando. Vamos caminando hacia la paz. La paz. La paz. Yeah, so we are called Rising Appalachia, and we're sisters, same mama, same papa. And we're gonna bring our dear beloved bandmate up here on the next one. Let's do Resilient, I think, actually. And we'll tell you a little bit of stories in between this. You know, this is our new job here, trying to figure out how to create collaborative, creative spaces and let it translate into these tiny screens and hopefully reach you all across the world in many different directions. This is Mr. Dave Brown here.
Yo.
And we're gonna do a kind of a different rendition of a song that Chloe wrote. It's, I think, probably one of our favorites. And it's a song called Resilient. But we're gonna give it a pretty strong Appalachian leaning. We're here in southern Appalachia, and this is a beautiful, beautiful fretless banjo over here that David's gonna play. And maybe you would tell a little about the song itself.
Yeah, we wrote this song. I wrote this song after Leah and I had the honor to go out to Standing Rock, and in that time frame, there was just a lot of tumult and beauty that were simultaneously rubbing up against one another. And the word resilient was just playing around in my head as a beautiful sort of poetic reference to the times. And this song came out of that, of what it is to come back after being bent or broken to one's strong and resilient shape. So yeah, here's our Appalachian Resilient for you.
Yeah. Trust the movement, navigate the chaos, uplift the negative. I'll show up at the table again and again and again. I'll close my mouth and learn to listen. Whoa, 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 These times are poignant, the winds are shifting. vessels open to give and receive. Let's see the system brought down to its knees. Whoa, 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 These times are poignant, the winds have shifted. It's all we can do to stay uplifted. Pipelines through backyards, folks howling out front. Yeah, I got my crew, but truth is what I want. Realigned and on point, power to the peaceful, prayers to the waters, women at the center. All vessels open to give and receive. Let's see the system run down to its knees. I'm made of thunder, I'm made of lightning, I'm made of dirt, yeah, made of the fine things. My father taught me that I'm a speck of dust and this world was made for me. So let's go and try our lives. Yeah. I've got my roots down, 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 down. I've got my roots down, 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 down. I've got my roots down, down, down deep. I've got my roots down, down, down deep. So what are we doing here? What has been done? What are you gonna do about it when the world comes undone? My voice feels tiny and I'm sure so does yours. Put us all together, make a mighty I am resilient, I trust the movement, I negate the chaos, uplift the negative. I'll show up at the table again and again and again. I'll close my mouth and learn to listen. Nice. Nice rendition.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Never been done before.
only for
Just
you.
for
all.
you. On this very special fretless banjo right there. So. That was nice.
Yeah, it works.
Well, we'll do a little instrumental musical shuffle. I'll do my best due diligence to be our trusty MC of sorts, and get a couple guitars going here and do another new song. So we have about 7 albums or so. Pick or choose your mixes. We've got a few old acoustic albums. We've got some full band albums. David Brown here has got a remix project out. There's many iterations of a lot of this sound. I think all of our biggest, deepest love is in the old acoustics of traditional folk music, and we're all students of that kind of playing and style and song catching. So this is an original one, but very much still in the bedrock and the formation of the old traditional songs. And We'll actually throw a little bit of an Irish tune in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which one are you gonna do today?
Well, I'll have to see.
Fair. That's the way it goes. So, this is a song called Synchronicity, and we'll take it from there. Soar far past boundary, content that less is more. Birds of the same flight, heading into the sun, shape shifting all the days until we are one. Pulsing in your cells, just stand up and connect. Hold tightly to your bed, 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 bed. And we are all bright. you go for?
I tried one called Brit Harper's.
Yeah, you did well.
You managed.
Those are, that's the Irish trad chops on the guitar, which is no easy feat at all. I don't think we've ever heard that one.
I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah.
It just kind of came
Just
out.
came. That's a good sign. We're all really rusty and we miss playing music and we really miss audiences. We miss hearing each other's voices.
It's true.
It's
It's been a strange year for all of
been a
us.
strange year. We're
For many of us.
slowly coming out of the woodwork. I think this is probably one of the only times of the year we've sat around and done this too.
For sure. For sure.
Do you want to play the guitar or do you want to do medicine?
We will do medicine, but do you need a tuning change? Because if so, I could do sassafras first.
It's up to you. Whatever's more pleasant.
Well, you called it, so let's do it.
Medicine?
Mhm.
Okay. We did have one show together this year, a live stream recording where we did a whole concert
For a sea of plants.
for a few plants.
There were no humans, just plants.
And it's available on YouTube, but it was quite lovely to know a 6-piece band be together in a room playing a whole set virtually.
It's true. And that's available on YouTube. And I'll give you the secret information that we're probably not supposed to announce yet, but I'm going to. Which is that we have a new album coming out. And we're very excited. And what is it called?
The lost mystique of being in the know.
Try that again.
The lost mystique of being in the know.
Rising Appalachia. We're very, very excited. We didn't know it was happening, so it's just kind of fallen out of the process of the live show, and then we got an extra day in the studio, and we all just were starving to play music, and an album came out. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right.
Meanwhile, an old favorite.
Wise men say that rushing is violence, and so is your silence when it's rooted in compliance. Stand firm in loving defiance, make archer alliance, let's give voice to the fire. Move people to the beat of the wind, gather yourself and begin. Dance the song and tell it. We are winners, champions of the light, forming in numbers and might. Keep the truth close to medicine woman. Medicine man, walking with grace. I know your face, and I trust your hands. light is tenfold in connection. Our elders hold them bright lights, we protect. The medicine is evident, the wolf, the hawk, the medicine woman, medicine man. Walking with this, I know your face, I trust your medicine woman, medicine man. Walking with this, I know your face, I trust your.
Thank ya. Medicine people.
Well, David, maybe if you want to tune up the banjo,
Yeah.
we'll do a couple. We'll do I Believe in Me Already, and then we could do Follow My Knees. So we'll take you into a little Appalachian run now. And I was just telling a friend the origin of the story of our names, Rising Appalachia, which is. Can I sip of that?
Yeah.
Very loosely, long story, but very loosely. And Chloe and I grew up down in Georgia, and David grew up here in Western North Carolina, and we all grew up with this relationship, both with the kind of stereotypes of Appalachian tradition and also the deep, deep love and reverence of the traditions of the South. And I think the idea of the band has always been to take those traditions and both rise out of them and also use them as tools of collaboration, use them to learn more about other musics and other traditions, and use them as a place that we're writing and creating contemporary folk music from as well. You know? So that's my memory of it. I think it came in a dream.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're from Atlanta, which we've always loved the combination of
The deep urban
music and rural music coming together, because there's a lot of overlap.
Totally.
And a lot of influence they can have on one another in good ways. So.
And this one is one we learned from our mama, who has an amazing kind of Southern gospel singing ensemble. And they would get around and sing for hours and hours and hours and play tunes, fiddle and banjo tunes. And this is an old religious song that we have taken and kind of made our own. And we invite you to do the same wherever that reaches you and however spirituality comes into your own world and your own life. It's a song called I Believe in Being Ready.
I believe in being ready. I believe in being ready. I believe in being ready, for the time is drawing me. I believe in being ready. I believe in being ready. I believe in being ready, for the time is drawing near. Brothers, sisters, please get ready, ready. Brothers, sisters, please get ready, ready. Brothers, sisters, please get ready, ready, for the time is drawing near. Oh, there'll be signs and wonders, wonders. Oh, there'll be signs and wonders, wonders. Oh, there'll be signs and wonders, for the time just start over. Well, turn around and just start over. For the time is drawing near. I believe in being ready. I believe in being ready. I believe in being ready. For the time is drawing near. For the time is drawing near. For the time is drawing near.
Yeah, nice. Thank you.
Shout out to Tim O'Brien for those lyrics. I believe he
Yeah.
reworked those old lyrics. Beautiful.
Yeah, some of the old traditional Appalachian mountain music. So we grew up with a fiddle playing mama, singing fiddling mama, and a guitar playing papa. And so we grew up kind of in all this old contra dance music, and bringing David back to join us, who also grew up in all this contra dance music. I think we all met in various dance floors and old time jams all across the Southeast, which as a young person was mortifyingly embarrassing for us all, and has grown to become such an important part of our relationship to self and ancestry and identity and place and culture. So we'll take you on a little journey into a bit of an Appalachian love song, kind of also a heart wrecker, as they tend to go hand in hand, called Follow My Needs.
Let's kick it together.
Sure.
6, 7, 8.
Good.
Nice, lovely. Like,
Very sweet.
would you tell our audience here about this instrument you've got?
Yeah, sure. So this is a
Banjo.
this is a kind of what some people call an antebellum era banjo, and as you can see, it's this is what people would have commonly been playing in the 1800s and earlier and afterwards when people didn't have access to frets. So it's a fretless instrument, just like Chloe's fiddle is, and it's got the friction pegs, and meaning it doesn't have gears on the tuners, and it's really low, and it's got a calf hide skin head, so it's really happy on a dry day like this, and it gets a little unruly in our wetter months around here. And I believe it's made by an awesome banjo maker over in Waynesville, North Carolina, by the name of Noel Booth.
Oh, nice, North Carolina.
Yeah.
And it's lower than what we usually are playing.
Exactly.
You're really getting. I love the.
Me too, the low tones.
Yeah, it's soulful.
I think we actually only have time for about one more.
Yeah, wanna do?
Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
This is one that's an old one that I wrote, and it doesn't have a big stage presence, but it's one that we've done a few times, and it feels like the right way to close. And it's a song called "Thank You Very Much," and again, like a lot of the original music that we're working on, it's an effort to make some of these lyrics be mantras in a way, our own contemporary mantras.
Thank you all for having us in your gathering, and cheers to all the other amazing musicians that are part of this, the organizers. We're Rising Appalachia. You can find our work everywhere, and we look forward to meeting you in real time sometimes.
Yeah. All right, let's see if we remember this. Now taught by my mother. Be strong, but still be subtle. Let your light carve out your rumble. And now, love, let me tell you, we are out to get 'em now. But he knows what hit 'em, and our song was made to lift 'em. And I wanna honor all the lessons of my father. All my life and longer, together we are stronger. And I say thank you, say thank you, say thank you. Thank you very much. Say thank you, say thank you, say thank you. Thank you very much. Say thank you. Say thank you. Say thank you. Thank you very much. Say thank you. Say thank you. Say thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, from wherever you are, so you can just join that part. Say thank you. Say thank you. Thank you very much. Say thank you. Say thank you. Say thank you. Keep going, making your mantra. Thank you very much. Say thank you. Say thank you. Thank you very much. Say thank you very much. Yeah. Nice. Well done. Thanks, guys. Appreciate ya.
Welcome back, everyone. Now we're moving into our live Q&A with Chloe. So wherever you're watching from, feel free to ask your questions in the chat and we will ask them. Chloe, thanks so much for being with us in this series. It was such a great set tonight. It felt really intimate and personal. I have to
Thanks for
say
having
that,
us.
yeah, I've really like many of us have had such limited music this year. And two of my highlights was your plant concert. And then a week or two ago, hearing David Brown doing like a Celtic piece in an outdoor setting. So, and today you just announced that you're doing a live concert in Asheville.
They're starting to come back.
Yeah, that's great. That's got to feel, how does it feel to be coming back?
It's a little strange and exciting. It's all of the emotions, you know.
Yeah.
It's mostly really lovely. And we have been non-public for a year. So there's a little bit of inertia where you're like, whoa, okay. Are we ready to go in the world again? But we're excited. Yeah.
So, Ram Dass talked a lot about how music can transport you into this thing he called soul land. And one of the things I love about what you talk about with your music is this idea of soul sounds. I'm just curious if you could talk a little bit more about that idea of soul sounds.
Yeah. Well, I guess how that relates to me or our music is we're not really trained musicians. I mean, we took piano lessons as kids, but a lot of our musical knowledge and how we write and how we move as musicians in the world is very much just that tangible feeling that you get from music, which I think is the soul responding to the sound. And it's kind of it's both simple and it's like kind of a major alchemy, if that makes sense. It's both. And so soul music, you think of soul music as a genre, but maybe it's also just like how our bodies are responding to sounds and to the beauty and the magic and the mystique that music has to offer. So we consider ourselves folk soul musicians is one of our sort of genre titles. And I think for us, that means like taking away the mental part of the music of like, how trained are you on your instrument and what chords are you playing? And just, how is the music feeling and translating into the body and into the airwaves. So it's like a somatic, it's more somatic than intellectual.
Love that. I love that. So this, Ram Dass in this tradition, a lot of the audience comes from sort of this bhakti background of singing kirtan. And I'm not sure how many people are connected to old time. And one of the things that I love about old time is it really feels like that bhakti vibe of like, you just show up and you participate. It feels like a lot of old times, like show up and participate, be a part. And you all bring so much of that through. And I just was curious if you could talk more about the Appalachian culture and the world music pieces that you bring through into your music.
Sure. My sister Leah and I, both of our parents play old time music. So we grew up going to contra dances and square dances all over the South. And it's joyful and it's a front porch music, it's simple as well. And it's mostly made for people to dance to. It's not really a performative music. And so we feel really lucky and honored to have had that in our lives as children and to have something that our parents passed to us that we're then learning and changing, of course, but it was passed to us from our mother and father. And we learned the banjo and the fiddle just by ear, just by listening to other players and to our parents and their friends and different teachers playing repetitive songs over and over and over, almost like a mantra, and you just figure it out. Basically, there's not like sheet music or anything. And I love learning that way. It involves having an interaction with another person and with a teacher and just like really tuning in your listening ear. So old time is a big part of our background. And then Rising Appalachia obviously just melds a lot of stuff. We've traveled a lot and our band members are from all over. And so everyone brings their influence of being in the world and traveling and their memories and their family and everything to the table sonically. And we each have a training and a foundation in folk music, and then we write original songs from that place. So I feel very thankful to Appalachian music for just providing me something to go from and to write from. And I love jamming these old tunes. We play some of them on stage, just real straight traditional. But the real meat and the juice of old time music is just sitting in a circle with people and playing, fiddle and banjo over and over and over again. And you get into a trance. Our mom calls it like the original trance music, which I love, because you play some of these songs 50 times. And it's joyful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Feels real heart opening. You talked about your mom in the set too, about the gospel tradition, and it brings in, we're here part of this Ram Dass Soul Land series. And so I'm curious if you could tell us a little bit about your connection, your either like spiritual journey or connection with Ram Dass or Be Here Now. Oh.
Did I lose you?
Yep, you're back. You froze up for a second.
Sorry.
You're good. Did you hear any of that?
I did not.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, let me
no,
start
yeah,
again then. We were talking in the set about your mom and the gospel background, and curious about your spiritual evolution and connection to either Be Here Now or Ram Dass. We're having a windstorm here.
The unstable Beltane wind.
Totally.
The gods of
We'll just go
Beltane spring they're raining upon us for being inside. They're like, you should be making love out on the grass.
Totally. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure if you heard any of that.
I did not hear you. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, it was just about asking about your connection to Ram Dass or Be Here Now.
Yeah, I mean, what a monumental book for all of our lives. My parents passed me that book as a young woman, and just the texture and the sort of presentation of it, not to mention the spiritual bounty that's within its pages, but it was just sort of like straight off the bat, this is a unique being putting something out in the world for us all to receive in whatever way that we are and in whatever moment that we receive it. So I had the honor of having that book in my life as a young woman, and then kind of, didn't fully keep in touch with Ram Dass's movement, and then recently found his documentary of his older life, and how he was exiting this world so gracefully, which was so touching and so beautiful. And like so many spiritual teachers, like, with the legacy that he's leaving behind, fully embracing, the exit of his own being, and was just really touched by that. And so it's been an honor to be a part of this and to just see people keeping his spirit alive in his teachings, and keeping them alive and living on in this world.
Yeah. A couple of questions have come through about your new album. If you want to talk a little bit about what inspired it, or what we can expect
from our music.
Or from the new album that you mentioned you weren't supposed to mention.
No, it's okay. It's coming out soon. The internet's just a little unstable. We have had a year, like we all have. It's been quite a year. And as artists, it's kind of our work to respond to the strangeness of the times. I mean, I consider that a little bit of our work, of just you become, I don't know, a vessel or something in a way for what's happening around you, and you try to translate it as best as you're able. And so we hadn't seen each other for the whole year as a band, and we're used to spending 200 days a year together in a small bus. So that was quite different. And we came together to do the live stream that you're talking about, full of a room of plants. And the following day, we just booked the studio, my sister and I, for the whole band, and said, look, we should just press record and see what happens and see what's wanting to be said from all of us. And we know each other well enough that we have quite a succinct musical language between the six of us. But usually when you go in the studio, it's very tight, and you have a plan, and you have, this framework. And this is the first time that we just let all that go and just completely stepped into a room without the expectation and the boundaries of, creating something. And just worked on little bits of song. Like one band member would start each song, and we would just jump in when we felt it. And it was such a fun, joyful experience in the studio. And we're really excited to share the music because it's exciting. It's expected, if that makes sense. It just goes all over the place. Sometimes you can hear where a song is going to go. And this one is just, it's like, it's quite a squiggly journey. And I think it really lets the instrumentation behind all this music shine. We have a lot of really amazing instrumentalists in our band, and, our lyrics are so important, but they shone and shine a lot in this album. So the songs are like 10 minutes long each, at least. And they're quite trance-like. They just go, and there's a lot of depth and a lot of trance in there. So it's new. It's a different approach for us. And it felt, thank you.
I'm going to try to squeeze in one more question in our couple of minutes left. And you talk about musical revolution. And when we listen to your lyrics, and where you show up, you can feel that. And sort of thinking about the context of Ram Dass, and he often talks about be here now and being all one, but he also talked as much about diversity and unity, and about showing up for environmental and social justice without kicking people out of your heart and without getting burned out. And I just want to hear a little bit more about your work. I mean, it comes through in your lyrics in so many ways. And so I just want to hear a little bit more about that commitment you all have.
You cut off on the whole top end of that. Sorry.
hearing more about your social justice pieces in the world.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
We were activists before we were musicians, whatever word that means, that's a fluctuating definition, the word activist. But as young women, Leah and I were just doing more frontline stuff before we were even really playing music. So it's always been important for us to step into a public sphere and into the power of holding a stage in a way that's responsible and interesting and not just about ourselves. Because the ego can get super fed by music industry and the public eye on you and the allure of the artist, which is all fine and lovely, but we felt like it was always important to work for more than ourselves and our own power and mystique. So we've just done a lot of work with different organizations. Honestly, our main mission has been when people invite us to be a part of something, that if it's something that we're aligned with, we feel good. So we don't have like one thing that we're a part of. We're not like the Bono of folk musicians, if that makes sense. And I think our manager and people would probably like for us to be, because it'd be more compact. But we've gotten invited to just be a part of different movements depending on where we are in the world. And that's felt more authentic to who we are. And so it changes, it changes a lot. We've done environmental work, we've done Indigenous rights work, we've done prison reform work, we've done education work, we do permaculture action days, which are really fun. And it's just moving. It's a moving dialogue with who we are and how we can best serve the communities that we visit, because we're visitors. When we tour, we're just sort of passing through. And so we try to show up and say, who needs to come to the table, who needs a microphone, what's going on here, and how can we kind of galvanize our crowd to shine some energy onto something that's happening locally. And yeah, it's been important for us. Obviously, it's quite different right now because we're introverted this year, but it's still happening in its way. So.
Thanks for doing it.
Yeah.
Lots of people, inspiring lots of people.
Trying.
So that's what the time we have for tonight. So thank you so much for joining, and even despite all the internet issues, and
it is what it is.
Concert and for your upcoming album. And real quick, best place for people to find you?
All over the internet. RisingAppalachia.com is fine. Thanks, you guys.
Awesome. Everyone listening, sending you and the whole band so much love and goodness and etheric applause from around the world.
Yeah. Feels good. Thanks, y'all.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's been a great night. We have one more set left. We'll be back in, again, 2 minutes with John Forte. So see you in a minute or two.